Narm, the city of trams, jams, clams, and thank you, moms. I don't know how accurate any of that is, except for the trams. They exist. Anyways, he's Dani to give you the go down on the lowdown, huh? Thanks, Poncho. I got into Nam 9 days before my run started, mainly because sales weren't going great and I had to get in early to start networking, pushing for spots and trying to get people to come to my show. I also like getting in a little earlier so I can adjust myself to my new living conditions, for the month, so public transport, groceries, etc. Also to see shows that I'd be too busy to see once my run starts. Seeing shows is important because it helps inspire me to grow, create, play, network, and support and enjoy the community. While in full festival mode, my days usually start late and finish late. I'm up at around 10 a.m. I ensure I get a hearty breakfast. Once I was out and about in the late arvo, there wasn't much time to sit down and have a good meal, so I made sure the brekkie was solid. Advice from Mama Clown, Shani Nuga. I either made this at home or I would go to a cool cafe and work from there for a while. In and around brekkie, I would be working on my script, production work, PR, marketing, making or adjusting props, rehearsing and creating new spots. That routine would take me usually until about 3 p.m, where I would make a quick lunch if there was time and head off at about 4:30 into the city to watch shows, perform in spots or do my own show. By midnight, I'd be finished doing the rounds and either eat something and go home or end up back at the festival club until about 2-3 a.m. That on repeat for 3 weeks. Give me a sec. Oh, g'day. So, from the Mormon faith, I like your shirts and your little...
About God? God.
No, I wouldn't like to talk about... I've always wondered one thing. Why is it just Mormon? Couldn't it be like more woman? That'd be nice, hey? Thanks. No. Thank you. Yep. Some nice Mormon boys at the door. My first spot, the day I arrived, was at the festival club with a sold-out crowd of about 400. The place went off. I shared the stage with Tom Walker, Sam Campbell, Stu Dolman, Hannah Camilleri, Nat Harris and other legends who are all major crazy weirdos. My festival was off to a great start. The audience loved Poncho and I felt immediately welcomed back into the comedy community after many years without touring my own show. Something I was quite nervous about heading into MICF. Imposter syndrome. It was terrifying, but that's my own insecurities playing with me. Before arriving in Nam, I only had 2 or 3 spots booked, but by the end of that 9-day period preceding my run of shows, I had booked approx 13 or so spots. I remember Friday the 8th of April, 1 week into my festival and 3 days before opening Poncho Keep It Up. That day I rehearsed for 5 hours at the Malthouse Theatre. Saw The Anniversary by Claire B and Daniel T. Did 3 different spots, which includes lots of public transport, lugging around costumes and props and getting changed in and out of said costumes. The last being a midnight spot as part of an 8-person team of backup ribbon dancers for Stu Dolman in the hugely popular lip sync battle at the festival club to a massive boisterous crowd. So much fun. That night, after having one pretty average spot to 7 people and then massively bombing another in front of about 60 people, I got to the festival club at midnight exhausted, depressed and deflated, but still with a glimmer of hope. While in the change room with the other contestants for the last spot, I had this massive realization that reminded me why I do what I do and why it's so bloody valuable. We were some 20 adults across 3 teams, and we were playing like children to bring joy to everyone. We were throwing out shame and ego to inspire people to come together through play and laughter. Society needs more of this, please. Even though spots are meant to help boost sales, it wasn't working for me. I'd have the odd win, but overall I was struggling and growing more and more anxious as the days went by. How could I afford to do this, and how could I possibly bring the energy needed to fill a 90-seater theatre with only the help of a tiny audience? It was a very uncomfortable feeling, also very restrictive to my creativity. Something I needed to be flowing right now. It was so hard to feel like I could deliver with this pressure hanging over me. Give me a second.
Yeah, hello?
Johnny boy. Yeah.
Perhaps Dani isn't good enough, huh? All this whining, blah, 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 selling himself short. On the other hand, I'm excellent. Sure, in one of my shows I only had 8 stunned faces in my audience. They didn't know what hit them. There was this lovely Filipino mother and daughter who cracked up the entire time. I like the Filipinos. Always have joyful play in their hearts. At times I had an audience of 50. And depending on the crowd size, the shows were harder and easier to do. But Poncho always brought the goods, baby, eh?
Right, mate. Do it.
Thanks, Poncho, again. Sorry about that. It was my crypto dealer. Doing good. Anyways, I kept going like this for another 2 weeks, running that routine, battling the demons of self-doubt, financial insecurity, and performing my show for 12 nights straight, doing a couple more spots and seeing at least one other show per night. How did my shows go? Well, I had about an average of 20 people each night, the highest being about 54 on my last Saturday of the run, and the lowest being 8. That was a hard performance, the hardest of the run by far. It was like trudging through thick mud the whole way through. Heavy and hard, but ultimately a good workout, and the mud was great for the skin. The shows at the start of the run were clunky. It was brand new, I still had to work on the delivery and throw out so much material. I was going way over time, so I had to get quicker, sharper, and clear out the crap. By halfway through the run, I was hitting my 60 minutes each time and the show seemed a lot tighter, easier to perform, and I felt like by the end of the festival I now had a full show. That I enjoyed performing a lot, something to be proud of.
Vamos arriba, ni no, ni no.
Vamos arriba, ni no, ni no. It's Uruguayan Spanish for keep it up. Still, I couldn't revel in this satisfaction entirely because even though I received great reviews from people that saw the show, the numbers didn't back me up on this. The numbers, the sales, the bloody tickets. Why do they always do my head in?